It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's spooky season. I'm so happy. And to honour this beautiful spooky season, I've decided to dedicate a few videos in the run-up to Samhain. This is the first one out. Let's get to it. Hello, hello, hello! Happy spooky season to you, finally! How lovely to be here. My name is Angel. If we have met before, welcome back to the space. And if you're new, then welcome to this space. So as mentioned in the intro, I'm doing some videos dedicated to this spooky season that we have finally found ourselves in. I'm so happy. The first one out is inspired by three creators, Ali Saylor, Chanel Days and White Tree Tarot. There might well have been a couple of others that have done this, but those were the three that I found in any case. I'm talking, of course, about my favourite majors in the deck, but we're going spooky styly. This is the spooky edition to honour the season. I'm going to say no more. We're going to get into the cards. We're going from the Fool to the World and all the goodness in between those two cards. Let's get into it. Now, may I just say, I really enjoyed going through all my spooky decks and, you know, just idly, lazily flipping through the cards and choosing my favourite majors. Of course, I did have a couple of doubles, but I have wheeled it down to 22 cards. The first one out is the Fool, and the Fool card is coming to you from Tarot V. This is a mass market deck, low Scarabeo. These are the backs, which I think are fabulous, and I edge mine in like this grey colour, which you can't see on the one card. But this is my favourite Fool. I think there was one other that almost picked this at the post, but not quite. Now, I love this Fool card because this speaks to me of, you know, you don't know if this is a vampire that has just been created and this is their first time, you know, standing up after turning, and this new adventure is going to be starting for them, this hunger that's taken hold of them. You know, they're seeing everything, the world, in a completely different way than they have before. If that doesn't speak to the Fool's journey, I don't know what does. You know, they don't know where their adventure is going to take them. And also, you know, they're possibly feeling immortal. So, you know, it doesn't matter where the journey takes them. They're going to do whatever they want, however they want. And in some ways, there are no consequences, except, you know, maybe a wooden stake. Or Van Helsing, possibly. Otherwise, this also speaks to me of, you know, a master, a vampire that's been a vampire for the longest time. Are they possibly following the person they've just turned on their new adventure? I don't know. I like the this really intrigues me. This Fool card. I really enjoy it. And if they are an older vampire, you know, this is another day for them to live their life exactly as they choose. Another day for a new adventure. Oh, I just really like it. That was the Fool card. That was the Tarot V. We're moving on to the Magician. So my favourite Magician card comes from Tarot Oscuro. This is a mass market deck. I purchased it quite a while ago, and I haven't been brave enough to work with this deck as yet. These are the backs, and they're edged in black from the box. Yeah, and this is my favourite Magician card. Now, there are some freaky beaky cards in this deck. They are quite bizarre, they are quite strange, they don't really make any sense. And it is very in your face, this deck, image wise. However, I have used it for a reading and it wasn't actually as intense as I expected it to be. I do definitely feel now that I'm in a better space to work this deck, although I haven't yet. My other darker decks have taken the lead, or the reins, should I say. This was really superficial. I just really like this Magician card. I love it that they are this I can't think what the mushroom is called. I'm sorry, I'm going to just grab something as well to show you. I'm having a bit of a love affair at the minute with these kind of mushrooms, and I believe they are poisonous. I eat mushrooms. I'm not particularly very good at knowing what they are. I know what canterelles are because they are scrumptious. But if I can find the name of this mushroom, I've put it on the screen for you. But they are so beautiful when you go into the woods, into the forest, and you see this beautiful red with the white. It's so whimsical and fairy tale like, but I'm sure they are. I'm sure they're poisonous. I hope I'm correct in saying that. And so there's this, warning of a bit of danger. And I do kind of, initially when I first started my tarot journey, I went through the major arcana before I'd even read a book. And what I thought about with the magician was that they are a trickster. They can be a trickster character. They're trying to lure you with this magic. When you think about these wizards on stage, these magicians on stage with their top hats and they're pulling the rabbits out of their hats and things like that. That's quite, they're trying to, the eye is, the hand is quicker than the eye almost. And that definitely gives me a trickster energy, which I think taps into the mushroom being a bit of a trickster energy. It looks whimsical, it looks fairy tale, it looks, tantalizing. But if you took a bite, it's not very good for you. Does that make sense? It makes sense if this mushroom is in fact how I believe to be, which is poisonous. Fingers crossed that my theory, panned out on screen. Okay, let's move on to the High Priestess, of course. Let's get into it. So the High Priestess is from the 78 Tarot Halloween. This was a second-hand deck, a pre-loved deck that I managed to find at a great price very, very recently. So this is going to be my dedicated Halloween deck. Let's move that over to there and let's bring in the High Priestess, which is just fabulous in my humble opinion. I love it that it's a witch. I mean, this just speaks of the season, does it not? Let me just show you the backs quickly. These are also delicious. Oh, it's just lovely, 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 lovely. This High Priestess gives me such an autumn vibe. You've got the pumpkins, you've got the trees, they're in the woods. I love the roots. It's just fabulous, absolutely fabulous. And obviously, the High Priestess speaks of this intuition, this wisdom, and witches, they tap into that intuition, don't they? Or I do. I definitely tap into my intuition, and I really go where the red threads lead me, where the breadcrumbs take me. And this, this manifestation. Oh, I just really, really like it. This hidden inner knowledge that we can tap into. It's like the wisdom and the knowledge is in our bones. We just need to open ourselves up to it to be able to embrace it and feel it and use it. Oh, love this one. Love this one as the High Priestess. So the Empress card. My favourite Empress is from the Horror Tarot. This is an Insight Editions deck, mass market. Artwork by Abigail Larson. I love their artwork. These are the backs. And this is the Empress card. Now, I really like this Empress card. I'm just going to bring it a bit closer so you can definitely see it. I have a bit of a problem with pregnant empresses because I personally am not a mother. I do not intend to fulfill that role in my life. And I feel that the Empress is more than just a mother figure. However, I do really like this creation that's bursting forth from the Empress. It always almost looks to me to that shadow side of the Empress, almost like be careful what you wish for, be careful what you birth, be careful what you're creating. I just really, really enjoy it. And this image again shows up in a later card, which I believe is the World. Don't quote me on that. But it's very, very intriguing. I haven't read what the guidebook entry is actually, to be quite honest, but whenever I get this card, it almost gives me a bit of a giggle, dare I say, because I really appreciate it, that although it's something's being birthed from the Empress, it's not the standard image. It really floats my boat, this image. I really, really like it. Yeah, definitely. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Definitely speaks of me, of this creativity, and bringing forth, also possibly bringing forth something that needs to be, needs to come out and needs to see the light of day. Oh, love it, love it, love it, love it. I can't say anymore. We're moving on to the Emperor. So my favourite Emperor card is from the Bohemian Gothic Tarot. There were quite a few cards, major arcana cards, that could have popped into this list, but I wanted to survey all of my dark decks. So This came out as just the Emperor out of this deck. These are the backs, I think are fabulous. This is another pre-love deck that I managed to find on a buy-sell trade group. So happy to get my sticky mitts on this one, and I really like this Emperor. Really like this Emperor. I did find another Emperor in the what's that deck called? Tarot de la Nuit, which I think is a bit of a a darker, spookier deck. But he, I liked him really because he was not a bit of an eye candy. This one I just really appreciate the whole concept. I've spoken before. The Bohemian Gothic Tarot speaks to me of my inner mausoleum, which is what I use this deck for. So this really speaks to me of this inner mausoleum, and I really like the Emperor that he's got this like these skulls, these like spoils of war almost, stacked in front of him, almost as like trophies. Dare I say trophies? So this also speaks to me the darker side of the Emperor. That they win at all costs, no matter what, no matter the trail of destruction left behind them. I really like this, and I love the fact that they've got these. The Emperor's wearing these really like strong colours that really pop from the page, or from the image, compared to the background. Oh, I just love it. I love it. And you've got the animal skulls, you've got the human skulls. It's like no species is safe from the Emperor's energy. Or it's like full speed ahead. They don't care. They only care about the final goal, and whatever is broken down in that pathway to their goal. It's just that. So be it. It's the spoils of war. Oh, I just really like it. Okay, let's move along. We're moving along to the hierophant. Let's get into it. Okay, so we're back to the Horror Tarot. Another card from the Horror Tarot. We're looking at the Hierophant. Let me just show you the backs one more time. I don't remember if I showed you the backs last time for this deck. This is the Hierophant I chose, and the reason that it really tapped into, really spoke to me, is, I suppose, for the untraditional side of the Hierophant. I have a deity who started calling to me in January, and the deity that I'm working with has this kind of hooded cloak so that I can't see their face. I'm also working with the Devil card this year. That's my card of the year, and I've walked with the Devil card as a guide this year, which kind of speaks to me of this as well. So this kind of speaks to me of the deity and the Devil archetype as guides for me, as a teacher, as mentors that they've become for me this year. So I think that's why this card this year and at this moment in time really speaks to me. And resonates for me. I mean, in a year's time, if I did this next spooky season, I'm not sure it would resonate for the same reasons. But this is the reason, in any case, that this just it just makes me so happy. It really, really does. So we've got a bit of a devil figure going on, and we've got this, for me, this deity figure as the mentor or the teacher. So for that reason, this one has been my favourite card, or is my favourite card this year. We're moving on to the Lovers. This was a bit of a tough one. Let's get to it. So the next one I chose was a card from the Zombie Tarot. I don't keep this one in the box. I don't know why. It just made sense at the time. This is the book, which I think is really lovely, or not lovely. It's a really cheeky, great book. Some of the pages are coming out, unfortunately, of mine. But hey ho. I have used it quite a bit, this deck, and I keep it in this second-hand leather pouch, I'm going to say. Let's pop that there, and let's bring in the card. Now the card for the Lovers, you might already know if you've got this deck. These are the backs, and this is the Lovers card, which I absolutely adore. Can I just say, I love the fact that she's holding his heart in her hands. I mean, that's just like, oh, chef's kiss. I also like it that he's got this like a little elixir going on here. Is this the cure? I don't know. Or is it, is it possibly her blood that he's about to drink and become a zombie himself? I don't know. But it makes me feel that love overcomes all, which is not actually the way I generally read the Lovers card. So it's quite interesting that that's my takeaway from this card. But that's what this reads to me. It's like, it is. It's like love will conquer all. You know, it doesn't matter where you're. You know that you've got two people from different sides of the, um, dare I say, coin. You know, if love, if there's love in the, you know, if love is involved, then that will conquer everything. Which, of course, you know, does it? I don't know, but I do really like this depiction. I'm not going to stay too long on it because I don't have anything else to say, to be quite frank. I do love the zombie tarot. It's quite cheeky. I don't always bring it out for spooky season. This tarot deck, works for me like all year round, to be honest. But I suppose zombies, and it is a bit spooky, isn't it? Ooh. So we're on to the Chariot card, and we're back again, I know, to the Horror Tarot. This is a popular deck this year, is it not? The Chariot. It's this one. And again, I'm gonna say it as it is. This resonates for me this year, specifically this year, because I am beginning to work. I'm in the beginning stages of working with Persephone, and Persephone is connected to Hades, and this speaks to me of the mythology of Hades taking Persephone to the underworld in their carriage, depending on the myth you read, depending on what you believe, blah 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 blah, or what myth resonates for you. I've also had a bit of an epiphany with the Chariot card recently with my Dark Passenger in Inner Child work, whereby I'm picking up these facets of self that have been left by the wayside on the path, and we are steering the chariot together. All of my facets are steering the chariot together. There is not just one facet that has got the reins. So I've kind of been working with that with the Chariot card as well. It all sounds a bit woo, but you know what this channel's all about. But this one, this one specifically definitely spoke to me. I love the darkness of it, the moodiness of it, it's like, it's giving me all the vibes. I don't even have the words, but let me tell you, I'm salivating because I just nom 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 love this. Okay, let's move along to the Strength card. So my choice for the Strength card came from the Dark Fairy Tale Tarot. I love this deck. It's canon, I was going to say, that's the wrong word. It was fantastic. It is fantastic. Mass market low Scarabeo deck. These are the backs, which I think are gorgeous. And this is the Strength card. Ooh. Now, I grant you, this Strength card is in place number 11, because obviously this is Thoth inspired. But I love the expression of this person. It's like they are letting the wildness go. They are letting the feralness go of themselves. And you've got this line here that's quite tame and quite relaxed. I love the contradiction here, in the body language, dare I say, or the behaviour. This also speaks to me of, obviously, Babylon, goddess Babylon, Scarlet Woman. Oh, the Red Goddess. Oh, I just love it. And the feralness of this, of her, just it almost feels like there could be a predator, and she's the one protecting the lion and showing the inner strength and the courage and the gumption. Oh, I just love this. Love this. Nom nom nom. And I love the fact there's this background going on with the sun coming through, and then you've got they've got the light and the darkness. There's like two sides of the coin again. Oh, this duality. I just love it. It just speaks to me so much. Again, this year I have been really delving into the the Red Goddess and Babylon. And so next year, this might not be on my favourite majors list, but it is now. So that's the most important thing. Let's move along. So we're back to the Zombie Tarot for the next card, which is the Hermit. I'm going to show you the backs one more time. I'm sure you've seen them. You might even have this deck. And this is the Hermit card that won out for me. There were a couple in the running. This one, however, won out for me. And I think it's because I love I love her body language here. She is so relaxed, and yet there is so much going on behind her. There's these people, or these zombies, trying to grab her, and she has found this inner peace in the chaos. You know, she is doing what she feels needs to be done in this moment without distraction. And I really like that. I really, really like that. Now, don't get me wrong, I do really like the hermit card, like, you know, on their own, like with a staff and with a lamp or a torch or something like that. I do really like that. But I love this, that she has found her inner calm somehow amidst the chaos. Oh, I really, really like that one. Really like that one. I hope I was in shot there. Okay, let's move along. We move along to the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, we're going to see a card from a deck we've already seen a card from. Wait, what? Yep, you guessed it. That's the Horror Tarot. Surprise, surprise. Let me show you the backs one more time, just in case you've forgotten how they looked from the previous card. This is the Wheel of Fortune, and for the same reason that I chose the Hermit card, I love this. Finding this wheel, that's whizzing around. I can imagine that this person is in a circus and that they're an artist, and that they're having all these weapons thrown at them as the wheel is turning. However, they have found their center, they have found their inner calm through the turmoil, through the distractions, through the chaos, through the fear, through everything that's happening to them in this moment. They are still, they are in the center of the wheel, so that they're almost not affected by it. Does that make sense? Instead of being on the outside of the wheel and being flung off, they are in the centre and they are stable, dare I say grounded, and locked in. Yeah. I'm definitely going to say that. I think this is actually the card that made me buy this deck. This is the card that swung it for me. I was like, I love that interpretation. I mean, I haven't read the guidebook, so I could be, I'm just totally winging this. This is how they speak to me. But that's the reason I bought this. I'm sure that's the reason I bought this deck. This card really swung it for me. Although I do really love the Horror Tarot, and I love Abigail Larson's artwork. Moving along to the Justice card. So the next card is from Tarot Z. I keep Tarot Z in this bag, which I think is stunning. This is a mass market deck by the same creator as the Tarot V. I couldn't think of the blooming name of the deck then. These are the bags I think are stunning. I've edged mine in black. Mass market deck, I think I said that. And this is the Justice card. I've got no in-depth super duper reasoning. I just love this. I love it feels like it does almost feel like a fallen angel statue to me, to be quite frank, which is just the way I, perceive the card or the image. I love it that this feels like it's in my inner mausoleum. I've got these, my inner ghosts and shadows that are facets that are locked into my inner mausoleum. And this feels like, these are finally free and they are coming for justice. They are coming for the playing field to be leveled. Does that make sense? So for that reason, I just really, really like this depiction. Love it. I bought this deck quite recently, and I don't use this deck for spooky season, and I personally don't think of these, and I just explain them as zombies, but I don't think of these as zombies. Yeah, great deck. I'm going to say that both Tarot Z and Tarot V are staples in my collection, most definitely. So yeah, that is my Justice card. Should we move along to the Hangman or the Hanged One? Yeah, let's. So I chose the Hangman card from Tarot de la Nuit. I would say this is more of a spooky deck for me. It feels very whimsical. These are the backs I think are lovely. This was another second-hand find on a buy-sell trade group. I really fancied trying the deck, and when I saw it come up on the group, I was like, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it. I think this is a Lo Scarabeo deck. Yeah, Lo Scarabeo. Yeah, and this is the image, which I think is absolutely stunning. I'm going to say it's really stunning. Again, this architecture behind the hanged person really speaks to me of my inner mausoleum. I also get a vibe of this was like a cocoon, and also it feels a bit like a butterfly emerging from the cocoon with this fabric. These feel like wings to me. And I don't know if you've followed my channel at all. Let me grab the card. But I'm working Oh, sorry, let me try and get back to you. I'm working with Wisdom of Curious Creatures Tarot, I think it's called, or something like that. These are the backs, and this is the card I'm working with recently, which is Transition, which is all about being in this butterfly soup. You know, the butterfly is not a caterpillar; it's not yet a butterfly. It's not assigned its title yet. It's in this transitional stage, so it's not a caterpillar, it's not a butterfly. It's in this butterfly soup, and that's what this kind of speaks to me of. And you know, with this floating material, it really speaks to me, the wings that are, are being created. Yeah, and I love this illumination around this person's head. Oh, I just really like it. I think it's a really beautiful depiction. Not so spooky as the other decks possibly, but it does feel a bit Halloween party, everyone's in dress up. I think that's why I get this one out for spooky season. Yeah, so there we go. Great reader. Really enjoy it. It doesn't come out as often as it should, mainly because it comes out more in the spooky season. Let's move along to death, shall we? The death card. Let's do this. Okay, so the death card comes to us from the Dark Fairy Tale Tarot, another card from the same deck. As mentioned, this is a really popular deck in my collection. I don't use it for spooky season, I use this all year round, and it's for my darker aesthetics, working with my darker facets. This is the death card, and I don't have any super duper in-depth explanation again. I just love it that it's this dark angel, love the wings, and I love it that they're in this like forest. They're almost camouflaged by the forest, just their face almost. It's only their face really that you can see. And I love the perspective of this. You've got this, very clear image in front of us here with the branches and the fallen angel, I'm going to say, or the dark angel. And then the background is like out of focus. I just love it. So for no other reason than that, this is my favourite death card. So returning to Tarot Z for the Temperance card. I do have a bit of trouble with Temperance. Temperance is actually my birth card, I'm going to say. But I do have a bit of trouble with Temperance generally. The meaning of it never wants to stick. And I worked with Temperance, must have been last year. And I just think I had a problem with the moderation thing. I don't do moderation. Now, I think what really attracted me to this Temperance card is the fact that this Temperance card, it feels like this, I'm going to call it zombie, because obviously, this is the Tarot Z. This zombie feels to me that was once a priest, and now they've turned into a zombie, and they're trying to walk that middle path between those two dualities. I hope that makes sense. So, and again, it gives me this whole, in a mausoleum feel to it. It does feel like this fallen angel. It does feel like this statue almost with these wings going on behind them. Yeah, it just really floats my boat. It really floats my boat. It gives me all the vibes. It gives me all the feels. But I do really still have problems with Temperance. I've got to be honest. Okay, let's get on to my card of the year, which is the Devil card. Let's do this. So my favourite spooky devil card came from the Dark Angels Tarot. This is a mass market low Scarabeo deck. These are the backs, which I think are beautiful. This feels like a mask to me. Oh, I just love it. I love it. I love the feather from the wings of the Dark Angels. Ooh, chef's kiss, chef's kiss. Yes, and this is the devil card that I chose. I really enjoy this devil card, that there is only one figure, that they themselves are the devil. I really like that depiction. I also really like the fact that there's all these masks, I'm going to say in stasis or stasis a bit around them, and I love it that the figure is veiled as well. They're not really showing their true face, and but yet the masks, they're not wearing a mask, but yet they're still not showing their true face, their true colours. This really speaks to me of the work I've been doing this year with the Devil card, and really getting to the bones of getting to know myself and trying to take off all these masks that I wear for different areas of my life and for different relationships that I have with different people, and just getting to the crux of me. I don't need a mask to hide behind. So for that reason, I really enjoyed this Devil card, and I do, I understand that the Devil card, depending on how you read it, kind of relates back to addiction and things like that. But for me, the Devil card really speaks to me of breaking through what's no longer needed and seeing the truth behind it. Getting out of the comfort zone and getting away from what we've possibly bonded ourselves to without even knowing it, which kind of speaks to me of this mask. Putting on these different masks to play or portray a role or a character in our lives to fit in, into society. Oh, it suddenly got a bit deep. I hope that makes sense. But for that reason, I really like it. And as mentioned, I do really still like it. The actual face is still veiled. They still haven't taken that step to free themselves from those bonds or those shackles that they are wearing. They still need the safety or the comfort of the veil over their face instead of a mask. Oh, I just love it. I love it. I love it. Haven't read the guidebook entry, so I could be totally winging this, but this is how this speaks to me. Okay, let's move on to the Tower card. Yeah, let's do it. So the Tower card was chosen from the Macabre Tarot. This is a mass market deck by Samantha West, one of my favourite creators. I have all their decks. I love their decks. I think they're fantastic. This, if you remove the little plastic bit, is supposed to go when you open it, close it. Great deck. Quite Pip-like, I'm going to say. These are the backs I think are beautiful. I'm just going to pop the box out of the way quickly. And I'm going to say as well, what was I going to say? Wait, my mind's gone a blank. Hold on, let me think. Oh, I was going to say that although this is, I suppose, you could, one could think of it as a spooky deck. I've actually used this paired with the Reclaim Oracle, if you'd like to believe that. Excellent pairing. This is my favourite Tower card. I know, it's a bit bizarre, right? But I like it that it's a bit cheeky, feels a bit whimsical. It feels a bit like, haunted house. It reminds me of like my old storybooks I used to have as a child. And I just really like it. I love the whimsicalness of it. Can I say that? I think so. And the way it takes me back to the child, the storybook images from when I was a child. I love all the the cracks. It's the cracks that appear when we are living life. We're not aware of them, I think, and I think this is quite relevant. You can be going along, doing your day-to-day things, living your life, and suddenly the small cracks have turned into big cracks, and things suddenly need a major renovation, or like a reconstruction. And so I think that's a quite good depiction. It all starts off small, doesn't it? Things start off small. And maybe we, paper the cracks and don't look and just ignore the cracks and hope they're going to go away. And of course, sooner or later they get bigger and bigger and bigger until the problem is so big that it needs to be looked at, or otherwise it's going to just blow up in our faces. Love this depiction. Love the Tower card. Got nothing against the Tower card. It's my favourite card, as well as the Devil. I think I'm a bit macabre myself. Let's move on. So we're on to the Star card, and we're back to the Zombie Tarot. These are the backs. This is my favourite Star card. And I think, I looked at very many Star cards, the quite traditional imagery, but I think I appreciate this because this feels like a medal to me. And it's like recognition of everything you've been through, everything you've done to get to this point where you've gotten to the other side. And this is your recognition of that journey, that work, what you had to do to get to this point. And here it is. I really like that as the Star. That's it. I've got nothing else to say. I don't think I really appreciated this card at the beginning when I first purchased this deck. But obviously, the longer our journey goes on and the more we become familiar with our cards and meanings, we tend to, delve a bit deeper, I think, into the depictions when we get the card forward in a reading. And so that's what this speaks to me of now. It's this recognition of, the resilience that we've shown to get to this point and, to go further. Oh, love it. Okay, let's take a look at the moon. The moon. The Moon card. This version of the Moon card comes to us from the Tarot of Haunted House. You know what I'm going to say, don't you? I really like this deck. I like it so much. It started off as a spooky deck. Now it's in my selection of decks for my inner mausoleum work, because, you know, it totally speaks to me. Inner mausoleum with this character running around this house. These are the backs, which totally speaks to me of a portal or threshold, you know, stepping through into this landscape. And this is my favourite moon card. I just love it. And again, I'm really sorry, but it resonates for me because it speaks to me of this inner mausoleum, this going through these gates to this inner mausoleum to face these shadowy, darker facets. That's what it speaks to me of. And I love the hounds. I'm not going to go into that. And I love the you know, we're looking at this person, you know, from behind. They're walking through. I just love it. I love the whole thing. That's it. I can't say anymore. So we've got the Sun card, and we're back to Tarot V against Lo Scarabeo. Isn't Lo Scarabeo a very popular popular publishing house in my collection of decks? It really is. I've got quite a few of them. These are the backs. You saw them earlier. Stunning. Here we go. This is the depiction of the sun. I don't know why I enjoy this one so much, apart from the fact that, you know, these are vampires in this deck, and the sun for them is very, very dangerous. But in some ways, the sun is going to set them free. It's this, like, you know, this illuminating force for them. Yeah, I'm going to say that the sun card generally speaks to me of like flying our freak flag. You know, being authentic, being real, and not caring. It's that, you know, this just, you know, just going for it, just doing it, being free. And I'm not really sure why this card speaks to me, although apart from the fact that, as mentioned, you know, the sun is obviously, you know, life-threatening for the vampire, but still they are looking towards the sun. They're looking to this illumination. I don't know. It almost feels like, you know, this is setting them free. I don't know. It just, that really speaks to me. I don't know. I can't explain it, but this is my favourite sun card. I did a terrible job of my reasoning, but that's the way it is. That's the way the cookie crumbles. We've got 3 more cards, 2 more cards, 2 more cards, several cards. Let's get to it. So Tarot de la Nuit, we've got another card from that deck. These are the backs again. They're gorgeous, edged in black. I think this is absolutely stunning. This is the Judgement card. This makes me think of the Tree of Life. It makes me feel that there's this like passage under the Tree of Life, and it's like this journey, this portal to another realm, to this second chance, to this new beginning. I don't know. It just really speaks to me. You know, they've come down the tree. You know, if you think the Tree of Life, and you know, this is their new start. Yeah, their second chance. And I love this. Almost feel like the Hermit to me, almost. You know, with holding this this torch, almost like you know, a shepherd shepherding people to the portal. I just love it. I really, really like it. It almost feels like, you know, that they've done the inner work. This is the Hermit. They've done the inner work. This is the next leg of the journey for them. Oh, I don't know. I just really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Let's get along to the last card, which is the World, obviously. Any guesses? Any guesses which deck is going to show up? Is it going to be a Lo Scarabeo? Your guess is as good as mine. So the last card comes from Tarot of Haunted House again. I know, right? It was a Lo Scarabeo deck. These are the backs if you've forgotten. This is the Threshold, the Portal energy. I love these backs. And this is the card I chose. I'm sorry, it relates back to my inner mausoleum work again. It feels to me like, you know, I am being offered the key to the inner mausoleum. I created a fantastic story a while ago, back in December, I think it was, when I was working with the Bohemian Gothic Tarot, and I had this epiphany with this story that I wrote, which didn't have anything to do with my inner mausoleum, but it really resonated for me with the inner mausoleum. And the story was this guide that was not a guide as in a deity or anything like that, but almost like a caretaker that was taking care of my inner mausoleum for me. They were playing me. They were playing my part. They were dressed up. They had this regal attire on, but it was like from a dress-up box in my inner mausoleum somewhere, and they were like playing my part until I returned to my inner mausoleum, until I was ready to acknowledge it and realise that there was this inner mausoleum, this dusty inner mausoleum with these ghosts that were waiting to be freed, and these shadow facets that were waiting to be released and laid to rest and put to peace. And they have been like, they're not reigning over the inner mausoleum, but they're just looking after it until I come back. And that's the story that came out from the Bohemian Gothic tarot, that there was this guide that was like, it was like, finally you've come back, we've been waiting for you. And this almost feels like that to me. It almost feels like, here's the key to your inner castle, to your inner mausoleum, and you're finally back. I don't know, it just speaks to me. It so speaks to me. And as mentioned, I do use this for inner mausoleum work. So yeah, that's it. Those were all the cards. Goodness me. This was a really enjoyable activity, actually, going through and really thinking about the depictions and the way they speak to me. Yeah, so this was the first video out. There are going to be a few more dedicated to the spooky season, because it's the best time of the year. I'm going to thank you so much for spending some time with me. Comment in the comment section, which was your favourite card, and what major is your favourite major generally, and do you have a spooky deck major favourite? Let me know in the comment section. I want to know. I want to know all the things. Yeah, otherwise I'm going to wish you a lovely morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Take care, and I hope to see you in the next video. Toodaloo.